Security experts and labor unions warn that unpaid Mafoko security guards at airports, hospitals and other critical sites pose a national security risk. December salaries were not paid, with the company promising payment by the 15th of January. Late and irregular salary payments have been reported over the past 18 months. Mafoko also faces allegations of unpaid Provident Fund contributions. In Gauteng, both the DA and EFF are calling for the security company to be blacklisted from state tenders and for its contracts to be cancelled. Mafoko Security Patrols Director-General Lebo Nare joins us now for a response. Lebo, thank you so much for your time this morning and for joining us. Perhaps maybe just give us an explanation with regards to the repeated delays of salary payments, some of those sporadic payments over the last 18 months. What challenges is Mafoko Security experiencing that have contributed to these delays?
Good morning, Kato, and good morning to your viewership. To begin with, Mafoko Security categorically rejects the recent insinuations that it has failed to pay its staff deployed at the airport company in South Africa and other sensitive sites. The company has consistently met its financial obligations and payroll obligations, and staff operating within these national key points and some of the critical infrastructure. The articles that have been circulating are not only misleading, but deeply irresponsible in that they undermine the public confidence in South Africa's security apparatus. We confirm that the staff of the AXA airport company in South Africa have been paid, as well as other sites that are of critical infrastructure. How this came about was that there was a TikTok video that alleged that Mafoko Security was not paying its staff at the Gauteng Provincial Legislature. To put it on record, the contract between Mafoko Security Patrol and the Gauteng Provincial Legislature came to its natural end in December. Generally, workers had a concern that since the contract had come to an end and their salaries had not been paid, they were worried that the company somehow had suddenly disappeared with their money. Mafoko Security Patrols is a company that has been operating in the Republic of South Africa for the last 21 years, and it is not a fly-by-night company. Having said that, we communicated with the affected workers that their salaries would be paid when the Gauteng Provincial Legislature employees returned from their holiday, because what we generally experience is that Mafoko Security Patrols, as a commercial entity, we obviously rely on the timely payments from our clients for the rendered services in order for us to have enough capital to remunerate our employees. Most of the state-owned enterprises, particularly the Gauteng Provincial Legislature, had obviously left without having paid their invoice. When we then informed them that they needed to pay the invoice, the Gauteng Provincial Legislature informed us in writing that they would only pay us our invoice after we paid the workers from our own pocket, which put us in a situation where we were unable to remunerate the workers, and have to rely on other forms of revenue that has been collected so that we can be able to pay the workers by the 15th of January.
So, Lebo, maybe let me just get some understanding, because you say that GPL left without paying their invoice. You say that securities have been paid. This is, I'm assuming, the December payments, because in accordance to the GPL, they paid your last invoice on the 5th of December. So were December payments already made to your security guards or not?
The December payments would not have been made because their contract had come to an end in December. So their cycle ends from the 15th to the 15th. We have multiple cycles as a security company due to the number of workers that we have and due to the challenges that we generally experience from public sector in that they don't generally pay the service providers timeously within the prescribed period of within 30 days. So we have broken down our payroll in order to absorb those delays. So the workers have not been paid their 15th December salaries because it is their last salary since their contract has lapsed.
But GPL says they have paid you on the 5th of December, and they were of the idea that you would have remunerated your employees with this particular payment that you received on the 5th of December for paying your security patrols on the 15th of December.
apologies for coming into your mouth. They are paying for the 5th of December for the previous month, so for the previous cycle of the 15th of November. The officers in questions with their issue is that they were not paid on the 15th of December, not for the previous cycle. So when they are paying you on the 5th, remember the client does not pay you December in advance. So they are not paying you on the 5th of December for you to pay workers on the 15th of December. They always pay you behind. So you render the service, you complete the service, you submit an invoice, they have 30 days to pay that invoice. So we were hoping that by the time when they come back on the 5th or 6th or so, when they remunerate us, we would be able to remunerate the employees, which is the communication which we have made to the workers. This also highlights the structural problem that currently exists in the private security industry, in that you have delayed payments by clients, where this adversely affects the service provider's liquidity and its ability to pay its employees timeously. It is a structural problem within the larger security industry, and it's not something specific to Mafoko Security Patrols.
So, Lebo, maybe let's just then get this clarity. So you're essentially saying that you're waiting for a 15 January payment to be made in order for you to be able to pay the patrols for the 15 December payment. And then with all other sites, you have already paid those employees, because there are concerns with regards to different sites that may be at risk, that patrol officers are not stationed there because they're not paid. So your contract is only, the contract in question is only the one with the Gauteng Provincial Legislature.
Yes, that is the truth. Now, the reality is that there has been an article that was published that was highly irresponsible. I don't know if it was for the sense of sensationalism regarding payments of security officers at the airports company in South Africa. We invite Newzroom Afrika to approach any security officer at the airport and other sites that were deployed to confirm that they have actually received their payments. And we've indicated that the issue with GPL was that their contract had been coming to an end. And that is the reality of the matter. Other issues that have been raised as well are issues that we have dealt with. I heard you allude earlier on to issues relating to compliance to the PSSPF.
Yes.
And the misleading information that had been perpetrated by Mr. Zwelenzi Movavi. We have since written through our lawyers and are pursuing our legal avenue processes in order to get them to retract that and also put them to task in proving those allegations, because you cannot have a leader who, for whatever reason, seeks relevance and decides to use Mafoko Security as the poster boy for non-compliance in the private security industry. That is unacceptable, and we've asked them to prove, to say, where are you getting these figures from? And it seems all the other political parties who want to get some relevance, we know others obviously are perpetuating a view that says there must be insourcing within the private security industry, and this for them is a convenient story to run on, or a poster to rely on when they try and show that private security companies are not generally complying. They do so because Mafoko Security Patrols historically was the most biggest black-owned security company in the Republic. So the majority of companies that are in the sector are generally those owned by historically advantaged individuals.
So by showing or painting Mafoko, I'm sorry to interject there. Just in the interest of time, you made reference to the issues of SAFTU that they've raised, and the DA also raised the same issues, referring rather to a Ga-Rankuwa High Court ruling that found in favor of the workers of Mafoko with regards to the pension funds adjudicator and the payover of that provident fund money. So are you saying that that incident does not exist and that SAFTU is making up that these provident funds were not paid into?
Well, ethical and professional journalism dictates that if an individual makes a certain claim that says there is a high court ruling in Ga-Rankuwa, I don't know if there are any high courts. What exists in Ga-Rankuwa is a magistrate court, and what they were dealing with are pension fund adjudication determinations. Those determinations we have given even to News 24, where we have shown the determinations that these are the determinations that have been made on individual claims, who went and said, well, there was a gap in between contributions made between my claim and what the company still owes. This is the amount that has been determined. I'm approaching the court. The court makes a determination, instructs Mafoko, pay this money immediately or we'll attach assets. And all those monies have been paid. We're even willing to share the proof. So you can see those determinations are what were made. There were about 97 of those determinations. Now, they seem to have relied on those determinations and come up with a figure for the purpose of politicking and saying there's the 100 million. There is no such a thing. And you are more than welcome to approach and look at that Harankwa so-called determination or the Harankwa judgment. You will see that those are individual determinations. At the time, there were 36 of them.
All right, Lebo, thank you so much for your time and for your clarification this morning. We certainly do hope that by the 15th of January, those patrols that are guarding the Gauteng Provincial Legislature will be paid their full salaries. That was the Mafoko Security Patrols Director-General, Lebo Nare.